So this is an extract from our book, Be More Kid. You think too much. This is about overthinking. Think about how young children interpret what they're told. They will take things as they're intended and often interpret them literally. One of our graduates told us a wonderful story about how challenging it was to wash her children in the shower. Every night they'd be bouncing up and down in the shower, making it really difficult for her to wash them. She assumed that they really enjoyed having a shower and were just excited. But one day she finally said, "Can you not just stand still so I can wash you?" Their response was, "Well, we're just doing what Daddy does." At this point she asked, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Well, Dad says he's going to jump in the shower." That's a really good example of what children do. They act on words without applying any meaning to them. As people get older, they tend to apply meaning to what's being said. The problem in most cases is that this interpretation often has a negative spin. It stops people enjoying things because they think about all the things that could go wrong and don't just treat things for what they are. For example, sometimes people will take on other people's problems as though they're their own. There's a tendency to think that because someone is telling you about their problem, that you want to do something about it. But is that really the intention of the person who shared their problem with you? Often, the answer is no. The interpretation comes from you. Adults will often think too much about what's been said to them. Their own negative beliefs about themselves start to come into play, as well as what they think of the world and of other people. Too often, they go down this route of thinking without stopping to ask, what did they actually say? Those words literally mean that. The rest I've put my own meaning to. How many times have you read an email and thought, "Ooh, the tone of that is really harsh"? But here's the thing, an email doesn't have a tone, it's just words on a screen. You're creating the tone and it comes from your interpretation of the world, what you think of the person who sent it, and so on. Similarly, how often have you skimmed through an email in a rush and thought it sounded harsh, only to read it again later and realise the email is perfectly fine and doesn't say what you thought it said? The mood you're in when you read an email can change your interpretation of it. If you read an email in a bad mood as you're about to leave work, you often find that you're in a better mood the following morning and you look again and it reads completely differently. What we want you to understand is that it's important to take communication at face value and not interpret it in any way except using the facts you have in front of you.